This week on The Dead Life, I have a very special guest for you. Fans of the hit TV show Medium are always asking me, how are your girls doing? You've all heard from my youngest daughter, Sophia, on my Love Me, Love Me Not segment. You've heard from my middle daughter, Fallon, and the actress who played her on Medium, Maria Lark, but you haven't heard from my oldest daughter, Aurora, until today. She'll be in studio to talk about her childhood, growing up famous, and where she is today. If you want to leave me a message that might be shared on a future episode of The Dead Life in my Love Me, Love Me Not segment, leave it at 802-DEAD-811. That's 802-332-3811. You can follow me on Instagram at Medium Allison, on my Facebook fan page, and you can binge on my YouTube videos to watch readings, including episodes of The Dead Life. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have abilities of your own and are looking to expand them and connect with other gifted people, go to deaduniversity.com. Aurora, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Mom.
Oh my gosh, anytime. I mean, please. Just spent the day shopping with you, which was fun too. So I have some questions for you that people are always asking me about you girls, and I just think it's better that my listeners and the fans hear it from you. So when did you fully grasp that an actress, Sophia Vasileva, was cast to play you on television, and how did you feel about that? Did you understand the enormity of that?
I guess I grasped it the first time that we ever went on the set. So I was probably like 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys raided the craft truck.
Yeah.
Anyone that's been on a television or movie set knows what that is. It's just a truck full of all the snacks and the goodies, and the kids were in there quite a bit. So how did you feel about an actress playing you? Because I do remember your sister saying, I think it was Sophia, she said, why are there blondes playing us? Like, why are they blonde? Why are you blonde? I'm like, well, it's not us. Those are actresses, and the kids are blonde because the mom is blonde, mm-hmm. Patricia Arquette. So you got to spend some time with Sophia Vasileva over the years. I thought you guys were a little similar in your energy, both kind of aloof and too cool for school.
Totally. Yeah.
So true.
I thought that she did a good job playing me as a kid. I was studious, but had like some attitude and cracked jokes at my sisters.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Would get into trouble sometimes, and yeah, she did a good job.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
And you've watched episodes with me since then, like recently, because I didn't get to see all the seasons because I was on the road for book signing tours, and you didn't see all the episodes or seasons because you had better things to do and it wasn't your thing. So now when you watch them and you see your character, Ariel, going through the scenarios that she's in, is it hard for you to see, or are you entertained by it?
Entertained. It makes me feel nostalgic of when I was a kid and it was playing for the first time at home. And all those times that we went to the set and saw Patricia. And,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like really nostalgic for me.
And whoever did the wardrobe of Sophia Vasileva apparently shopped at the same place we did, because I frequently will see Sophia Vasileva wearing something from Limited 2, or that looks like it was from Limited 2. That is exactly something that you had as an outfit. So even the styles, I mean, they captured you guys so beautifully on the show, I thought. Mm-hmm. And Maria Lark playing Fallon, I thought their quirkiness was
dead on.
Dead on. And they were actually best friends for years when they were little girls, and she'd come out and stay with us, Maria would. So that was all fun. And then there was Sophia, who was the baby, but the actresses that played her were actually a little younger than her. And they used to sit on my lap when we'd have like a wrap party afterwards, after a season ended. And she'd be like, get off my mom's lap. Just so funny. So it was fun having all three of you be a part of it, which is why we moved to LA for a few years, because you guys wanted to see what I was doing while I was gone all those years. And you got that upfront and personal, an upfront view of what it was like. And you were ready to come back, I think, when we moved back to Scottsdale. So I hope I speak for you as well on
Totally.
that.
Yeah.
So all of my friends, when you were growing up especially, were law enforcement. They were in television and there were people from the spiritual community like Tom and Jana. How was it growing up with them?
It's all that I ever knew.
Yeah.
So it was just normal to me.
You know, it was nice having friends that were cops because I could send them looking for you when you were a teenager. And I remember threatening you with that a time or two when you'd be home late from school. And you responded to it and got home, which was great. But growing up with Tom, who's a professional astrologer, and Jana, who is a tarot reader, I thought it was kind of cool that they were able to teach you about what they know in their um, expertise in the ethereal world. And did any of that stick with you?
Yeah, I would say so. And with the tarot, I hadn't really visited that until super recently when I came back home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it is scary sometimes, like how dead on it can be. We're
I
like,
know.
what? Okay.
I know. So your sister Fallon is in London right now. And I said to Sophia yesterday, I said, it's a full moon of Scorpio's coming. Fallon's a Taurus. She's going to get sick. And she just messaged us that she's sick. And I'm like, it's like clockwork. Just listen to me. Plan around it. But like Tom says, you can't always plan around it or don't want to. You just got to take the good with the bad. What did you think about growing up with Amanda Campbell? My friend Lori Campbell's a medium. I met her in the laboratory when we were being studied by scientists, but was it sort of refreshing to have a little teenage friend that understood what it was like to have a mom that was a medium?
Totally. I feel like when I met her, I think I was 16 or something, but it was the first time I felt like someone that could relate to me and that I could really relate to her. And we just hit it off and I loved hanging with her.
I think we took her to Whiskey A Go-Go with you once.
That's awesome.
To watch bands play. So that was pretty cool. So in your childhood, we were friends with some notable people. Adrienne Curry, the winner of America's Next Top Model season 1, who's one of the most memorable people from that show, in my opinion. And I visited you at lunch in junior high. You spent the 4th of July at actor Kelsey Grammer's house in the Hamptons. Your high school boyfriend is actress Chloe Moretz' brother. You spent Sundays barbecuing at the legendary guitar player from Guns N' Roses Slash's house. Were you just so used to being around famous people that you were unfazed by growing up with them?
Pretty much. That's all I ever knew. And I feel like it kind of prepared me for living in LA as adults a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the kinds of people around and what are possibilities that you can do with your career.
How hard you have to work to get there. And sometimes how fleeting it can be.
Yeah.
You know, you can be hot one minute and not the next minute. And you've got to be okay with that and just sort of cling to your craft and what you do, what you're good at, and do the work, you know?
Yeah.
So here's one for you because people are always saying, do your girls have abilities? And I always say they are intuitive. They're sensitives, definitely. You guys have always picked up on information that you don't realize is unusual for people to pick up on. But you don't do readings. You're not going to follow in my footsteps. You've got your own professional path, which I applaud and I'm all for. But what are your thoughts on life after death?
You know, in my early adulthood, I think that I kind of shunned away any thoughts of that, trying to find myself as my own person and, you know, just go on my own path. But now I'm approaching 30 and it's coming back to me, the spirituality and the kind of relationship that I would want to have with God. And yeah, and I've always had the intuition and knowing what to do, even though I shouldn't have known to do that at just the right moment. And it's worked out for me in my bass playing career. And so at this age, I'm getting closer and more in tune.
It's funny how time actually gives you wisdom and experience and things start to resonate a little bit more. for you. So that's a good thing. So I've done a lot of readings over the years. You know, some of the ones, the stories I've told you, or after I would work a case and come home, how it would weigh on me. Did you learn anything about how to live life and take maybe even more risks while you're here to achieve what it is that your soul wants to achieve? From seeing the dynamics of life and death, and that life isn't forever in the physical world, at least. Does it teach you something about not shying away from following your path, but to embrace following your path and what your passion wants to drive you to do?
100%. And seeing you take a non-typical career path and teaching me and my sisters to always believe in ourselves and that we can achieve whatever we work hard at, definitely, I think, gave me the courage to go after a bass playing career as an adult. Didn't start playing until I was 24, but I was like, you know what? This is what I want to do, and I'm going to work hard and put everything into it.
And you did, and we'll definitely talk about that in a little bit, of where people can find you if they want to catch one of your shows. So growing up in spirituality, though, did it help to shape your belief system or influence your belief system in a way that, do you listen to your inner voice more instead of letting your head override it? Do you vibe with certain people and shy away from people you don't vibe with, knowing that they won't serve your greater good?
Totally. I feel like I was taught from day one to be in touch with my intuition and to listen to my gut, and that has really helped me.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, if there's nothing else you guys took away from what I was doing and trying to listen to that inner voice that's sort of nagging at you to go in a certain direction, or that repels you from someone who scares you, even like danger, where it's a heads up, don't do that, is so helpful in life. And I'm trying to teach people to not mute out that inner voice, and to let it speak, and to really act on that as they go down their path in life. Because if you don't, it's better to not know you could have been murdered or something bad could have happened to you, rather than finding out the hard way. Go ahead and think that maybe taking that right turn was just crazy, that idea popped into your head, and here I am turning right in my car and not knowing why, but you probably avoided a car accident that would actually kill you. So
yeah.
It's we don't always need proof of that to know for sure that it was in our best interest.
Anytime I tried to talk myself out of listening to my gut and explain things with my mind, I regretted not listening to my gut.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes a lot of people in life will learn from that, where they do that so many times and they're mad at themselves that they'll finally listen. And then there are people who constantly ignore it and are mad at themselves their whole life and never really get anywhere because they just never listened, So why don't you talk a little bit about what you're up to? You used to be really into math. You were going to get a degree in biochemistry. That was your path. You've always been science-minded like your dad. You were always excelling in mathematics your whole life. That's how I knew you. And now, where did your Gemini sun take you?
So with music, I am constantly learning, constantly memorizing, and growing on the knowledge of music theory that I already have. And you'll never know everything there is to know about music. There's tons of instruments, so that scratches the Gemini itch for my brain. And then with the moon in Leo, getting to perform for people just makes my heart happy.
You're a Sag rising, so you're a lucky little cricket.
That likes to be on the road and travel, so that came full circle.
Thank God for your Mars and Taurus.
Thank God for that.
That'll ground you and put some money in the bank in your life. So that's a good thing. And I think it's important with you. You did something very brave. You went after a career at a time in life where people would say, get a practical job, do the practical thing. And instead you said, no, that doesn't make me happy. I'm going to do the creative thing. I'm going to let my creative soul play out and see where this goes. Because if you didn't try, you'd never know. And then that would always nag at you. But if you try, then at least you have the answer, right? So I'm so proud of you. And why don't you tell people a little bit about the last year of your life in LA? Because, you know, it wasn't easy for you and doors weren't just open for you because you're my daughter. So it wasn't like that. You actually had to grind and work hard. So
yeah, it's a completely unrelated field. So I was just grinding, but I moved there a year ago and I just felt a burning feeling inside that I need to live there. Immediately met the Pinktastic Plastics, which is the all-girl pop rock band, and met some friends, and they taught me a lot about really performing and going crazy on stage, doing splits, doing just
being
having fun.
A showman, yeah.
Yeah, I learned so much, and I was in a all-girl Sublime tribute called She Blime, so I got to play some reggae. That was fun. I got to play with a lot of different musicians, and
you got to make some videos too, because I've shared the Pinktastic Plastics videos up on your Instagram, and I shared it on my Instagram, and the fans really like that.
Yeah, music videos. I lost my train of thought.
Magazine interviews. You did like all sorts of things in the genre of learning to play bass the hard way and kicking open the doors on your own.
Oh, yeah. I was also going to say one thing LA did for me was to see all of these other women making it as musicians, playing the instruments, not only being the singer, and seeing women of all ages making it and continuing to have a career into their 60s playing guitar for big names, like really just gave me even more hope. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
they inspired you.
This is my people. And
yeah.
I can
found
do
my
it too.
people.
Yeah.
That's so nice. And now you're actually back in Arizona, which makes me really happy because it scared the hell out of me while you were in LA, because it is dangerous and I worried a lot with you being there. So why did you go all the way to California? What ended up happening in LA? Do you want to share that?
Yes. So yeah, LA was really dangerous. It was expensive. It was uncomfortable to live there, but there is more opportunity with touring and meeting artists, new artists that are making stuff and really trying to give it a good go.
And going to LA brought you back to Arizona to tour with a girl from Arizona.
Yes. Ashley Wineland is a country artist, and we're going to be leaving for tour in 3 weeks for a 5-month U.S. bus tour. So that's going to be awesome. And it also really helped me to appreciate country music and the authenticity and lack of pretentiousness and just realness of that genre of music from being in LA around all the hustle and bustle.
Yeah. I mean, country is really about being honest, relationships, having a good time. And I'm so glad that going to LA just brought you right back to Arizona to kick off the tour.
What are the odds? Seriously. Oh my gosh.
So, and you really seem to get along with Ashley, the lead singer, and enjoy her music. And I think you're going to add a lot to her band. I know I'm your mother and everything, but you really do shine on the stage. You bring a lot of energy to the stage, and it's right where you belong. Your Moon and Leo knows it when she's up there, and she's a happy kitty. So I think you're going to have so much fun on the road. I hope you take a lot of video clips and post them on Instagram and let us know where you're at so that my listeners can catch your shows when they're out and about on the weekends. And do you have any other projects coming up, or is it mainly the 5-month tour? And then where can people find you on social media?
So you can find me at aurora.selena with a C .base on Instagram or any of the platforms, YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So, or if you already follow me on Instagram, you can find Aurora's Instagram in my followers list. So I'm excited to see what you do and where you go. And we've had fun buying you your cowgirl hat and your boots and getting you all jazzed up for going on the road. And it'll be interesting to see how it is to live with a bunch of other people on a tour bus.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be kind of vlogging that on Instagram and showing the cities that we go to and the different venues and what it's like being on tour.
It's going to be great. So it's funny because you spent your childhood along with Fallon trying to run away from being part of a famous family, and you're going out on the road to be famous. So I love the irony of all of that.
Totally.
And we all wish you luck. So Aurora, thank you so much for opening up to us and sharing your life and for coming on to my show for the first time.
Yeah,
it's not the show that you and your sisters wanted to do. You wanted to do the generational drinking show that moms and daughters are doing, but we'll settle for this.
In the future,
right
we'll do that.
In the future, yeah, we'll see how that works out. And thank you to my listeners for tuning in. You can catch me next Tuesday for a fresh episode of The Dead Life. I will be having Rachel True, the actress from the movie The Craft, on next week's episode, and we'll see how it was to film The Craft, which is one of the very favorite occult movies of all time for people that really love the genre, and how spirituality really fits into Rachel True's life. So we're excited to have her with us. To all of my believers out there, don't stop believing.